In this tutorial, I want to just briefly talk about the Notes tab. Now, before we look at the Notes tab, what I should just remind you is that your article manager, you can arrange articles in projects. And for every project, you can have a set of notes. So for example, if I open up an article in this top project, let's say fatty acids, omega-3 fatty acids, then any notes from any of the articles that I've created in that project will show here. Let's open up an article in teaching and go over to notes, and you can see these are the notes that I've created within the teaching project. Let's try a different one. Okay, this is the notes that I've created on articles within this particular project. So the notes that show are related to the project that the article comes from. So if I'm doing work, let's say on this teaching project, I'm doing a new article on teaching, let's say Udemy courses, and within there I go over to the notes and add a new note, Udemy courses. Let's just some stuff on Udemy courses, and then I'm going to save that. Then if I go back and let's open up an article in my first project again, look at the notes, then that Udemy teaching note is not here. It's only the articles that I've created when I was working on projects, working on articles within this particular project. If I go back to my teaching folder, I'm going to select a different article. So I'm not going to select Udemy courses where I made the note. I'm going to select this one up here. Go back to notes, and there's my Udemy courses note. So the notes are specific to the project that you were in when you created them. That way it makes sense, because let's say this, for example, Fishy Fats is one of my websites, and when I'm creating notes, I want all of the notes related to my Fishy Fats website to all be in a place where I can refer to them. Okay, with that said, you can create notes in a couple of different ways. The first one is from your researcher tab. We've seen this already. You can send to a new note. Now we've already got this as a note, I think, but I'm going to say, let's save that as a new note. Go over to the notes section, and there you can see that note. It's actually the same as the first one because I'd already sent it. And you can delete the notes with the delete button there. You can also create new notes from in here. You'll get the same dialog box to say what do you want to call it. Let's say omega-3 dosage, and then you can just start typing. Okay, if I want to edit one of the other notes, I can just click on the note and just basically go in here and use it as a text editor to type whatever I want in. And then when you've finished, just click on the save button. If you make changes, let's say I make changes, and then I decide I've made a mistake, I don't want to save it, quickly click the little cross button and that will undo the changes. In fact, it will undo everything since you last saved it. And finally, we can send this information to the Scratchpad. Let me just go to the Scratchpad for a moment. This article has already got information, so let me open up something that doesn't. Let's go to fish oil dosage, for example, and have a look. Let's suppose that this information was some notes I created on fish oil dosage, and I wanted to put it onto my Scratchpad. What I could do is I could just click on here, and I've got three options. I can either replace whatever is on the Scratchpad with these notes, and that way everything that's on there will be deleted and be replaced by this. Or I can put this at the beginning of the Scratchpad, keeping all the information that was already there but just moving it down. Or I can append it at the end. So again, keeping the information that's on there and just sticking this on at the end. Now, because I haven't got anything there, it doesn't really matter which of these I choose. So I'm going to just say replace Scratchpad with these notes. And now if I go to the Scratchpad, I've got those notes. And then while I'm working on my fish oil, I can open up the Scratchpad and have access to those notes. So these notes, you may or may not find them useful, but they're there if you want to use them. And just remember that the notes that show here are locked inside the projects. Okay, so whichever project you choose, let's just try that one. There's no notes because I haven't created any notes while I've been editing and working on that particular project.